If you're a music producer, rapper, music artist, or DJ trying to come up with a stage name, coming up with a unique stage name can be hard. So in this video, I'm going to share 16 tips and ideas to help you come up with a stage name. I'm going to share some free websites and tools that you can use to help make the process easier. I also have a free Google spreadsheet that you can use to help track, sort, and rate your name ideas. So stay tuned and find out how to come up with a good stage name.
hiphopmakers.com.
Hey music creators, I'm Mark V at hiphopmakers.com, a website that's dedicated to helping music creators make, market, and sell music online. So before I get into the list of ideas, let's cover the basics. What is a stage name? A stage name or alias is simply a name that a lot of actors or entertainers will create for themselves. They may create a stage name for the following reasons. They want to hide their real name, they don't like their real name, or they want to create a name that stands out more. A stage name can be simple and look like a real name, or it can be a made-up word that means nothing. There are no set rules. In this video, I'm going to share a couple different examples of different stage names from music producers and singers. So let's get into the tips and suggestions for coming up with a stage name. Number 1, brainstorm 10 to 20 names. The goal is to brainstorm a lot of ideas. You want to try to come up with a name and come up with an even better name after that. You don't want to get attached to a name right away because number 1, the name may already be taken. And number 2, if you keep brainstorming, you may come up with something better. I find when I try to create a variation of something, each time it gets a little bit better. So you just want to do this exercise of coming up with a lot of ideas. There are no wrong ideas, just capture all your thoughts. One idea may lead to another idea. Number 2, track your ideas. You can use a notebook, text file, or spreadsheet to help track your ideas. But it's important to track your ideas because you want to get them out your head. And you want to have a visual way to track and compare your ideas. I created a free Google spreadsheet that you can use to help track your ideas. I think spreadsheets are helpful because you can easily sort and track data. You can find a link in the video description below. If you click the link, you need to be logged into your Google account. If you want to use the spreadsheet, go to File and click Make a Copy. Here's a brief overview of how to use the spreadsheet. In the first column, you can enter in the ideas for names. In the next column, I have a rating score so you can determine how much you like the name. 10 being your favorite, 1 being your least favorite. Once you come up with 10 or more names, rate the names. And you can right click the column B header to sort by rating number. You can edit and customize the spreadsheet if you like. So you can use a spreadsheet to help track your ideas. Number 3, keep the name simple. You want to make sure that the name that you come up with is simple and easy to remember. It's best to limit the number of words and it should be easy to spell. If you need to explain the spelling to someone, then it's going to be hard for people to find you on their own. It's best to have a name that if you tell somebody once or twice, they can easily remember it. So keep it simple. Number 4, avoid using terms that are too generic. It's best to avoid single word terms that are very common. Here's an example. Don't name yourself bass as an example. This term is too generic and is going to be hard to be found in search engines. If you Google bass, there are just so many different results. There are bass guitars, bass speakers, bass samples. There are just so many results that you will never be found. So avoid using common generic terms so you can help your chances of being found online. You want to try to come up with a unique name, so when you search in Google, almost nothing comes up. That way, when you claim the name online, when someone searches for you, you come up first. Number 5, think about your brand. This is a brainstorming exercise. Answer these questions. How do you want the world to see you? What visual imagery do you imagine representing you? Who is your target audience? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years with your brand or name? Answer these questions to think bigger than just coming up with a name. Think about your image and who you want to be. I would also write out keywords and terms that describe the future you want and who you want to be. Maybe these keywords can help with deciding a name. Also, try to imagine your name in a logo. How would it look on a t-shirt or in a video? So plan ahead and think about the person that you want to become. Number 6, use a part of your name or a variation of your name. Experiment with mixing parts of your name with different words. Here are a couple of examples of people who have done this. For the music producer Just Blaze, his real name is Justin Smith. So he took the word Just from his first name and added the word Blaze. Dr. Dre's real name is Andre Young. So he took Dre from his first name. Chance the Rapper's real name is Chancellor Bennett. Post Malone's real name is Austin Post. Missy Elliott's real name is Melissa Elliott. So play around with your real name and see what you come up with. A lot of actors will keep their real first name and add a fake last name. So experiment and play around with your real name. This can help you come up with a meaningful name. Number 7, use your middle name. If you like your middle name, use it. Here are a couple of examples of people who have done this. Drake. Rihanna. Number 8, abbreviate your name. If your name is too long or too difficult to spell, you can abbreviate it. Here are a couple of examples. J. Cole, Chuck D, and more. So I'm halfway through the list. If you find these tips helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. I have a question for you. Do you have a stage name? What is your music producer name, rapper name, or music artist name? Let me know in the comments. So let's continue with the list. Tip number 9 is to use a childhood name. Do you have a childhood nickname that you like? If the answer is yes, try using it. You may have something that is meaningful between you, your friends, and family. The music producer Skrillex was called Skrill and Skrilly as he was growing up as a kid. So he used those nicknames to help come up with Skrillex. Number 10, use online name generators. There are tons of websites with free name generators. You can find generators for a DJ name, producer name, rapper name, and business name. So you can use these websites to help come up with different ideas. On some of these websites, you can just click a button and it will come up with random names for you. And there's some more advanced websites where you can answer some questions and it will come up with some names for you based off your answers. So check out some of these free online generators. You can find links in the video description. Number 11, what to avoid. Here are some things you should avoid when trying to come up with a stage name. Avoid specific music genres in your name. If you're a music producer, artist, or DJ, I'm sure you're going to be dealing with a variety of different music genres. So you don't want to limit yourself to one specific music genre. Avoid current trends. Trends come and go. You don't want to come up with a name that will look dated in 2 years. So plan ahead. You and your career will evolve over time. Number 12, research if the name is taken. So here's where the spreadsheet becomes helpful. You need to check online if the name you want is taken. Search google.com and see what comes up. In the spreadsheet, take notes of what comes up. Does the exact name come up or does something similar come up? Researching is very important because you don't want to pick a name that's already taken. And you definitely don't want to pick a name that's already been copyrighted or trademarked. Trying to use a name that's been copyrighted or trademarked can lead to legal issues in the future. Here are some things I will look out for and take notes of. What comes up? Is it related to your industry or field? Does it look like it's copyrighted or claimed by someone else? Next, I will search for the web address. Enter in the name that you're thinking about using and add .com at the end and see what comes up. I would also check .net. If the domain name is already taken, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't use the name. You can still come up with different names for your domain address later. You're just doing research to see what's out there. Next, search social media websites. Search popular social media websites to see if the name is taken or available. If the name is taken, make a note of it, but save the names because you could create a variation of the name, or you can try to spell it differently. So do research on all your name ideas. Number 13, narrow down to your favorites. So hopefully at this point, you have found a couple of names that are available. Now you need to narrow it down to your favorites. So you should revisit some of the points that were mentioned earlier. Is it simple? Is it easy to remember? Is it easy to spell? When thinking about your long-term goals, does it represent how you want to be seen? Ask yourself these questions, and then rate and sort your favorite names that are available. Number 14, get feedback from friends and family. Go to people you trust and admire to get feedback. Getting feedback can give you different perspectives and inspire new ideas. Don't get offended if people don't like the names. You just want to get different perspectives. The ultimate choice will be yours. But if people are mentioning common problems, pay attention and make adjustments. Number 16, don't stress over it. The last tip is don't stress over coming up with the perfect name. You will continue to evolve and change over time. Don't let not coming up with the perfect name prevent you from taking action on your goals. In reality, in many ways, the name you come up with doesn't really matter. Some of the biggest people on YouTube or music artists or business names all have names that mean nothing. It's all about what you do with the name, of how you present it and market it to others. So don't let not having the perfect name prevent you from taking action on what's really important. So those are my tips and suggestions for coming up with a unique stage name. I know the process can be overwhelming and difficult, but take your time with it. Continue to brainstorm ideas and something great will eventually come to you. So don't give up and come up with something great that represents you and what you stand for. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe for more helpful tips. Question of the day: do you have a stage name? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you check out the video description for helpful links and watch some of our other videos for more music related tips. Good luck.